Hello, so today we're going to be going over how to get Metaforce up and running, which is the Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3 sort of source port, if you will, reverse engineering project based on the engine of those games. And the first step that we're going to do is, quite simply, we're going to go to the releases website, which will have the development and the continuous builds, which right now are the same thing. And usually you want to go to continuous. It's pretty unlikely that something will get massively broken, but it is possible. So if you run into an issue, you should go to developer. But we're just going to steal the... Oh, that's not the latest one, actually. We're going to steal the latest version of Metaforce. Make sure you get the latest one. Organize it by last modified. And then open that up in downloads. I already have my Metaforce folder on my root of my drive here with the ISO that I've extracted from my Wii using the fantastic application CleanRip. It's actually legal to extract your own backups of games that you own in Canada and the United States. So don't let anyone tell you that it's piracy, because it's not. It's illegal to share them online. What we're going to do is, we've just extracted the Metaforce folder, and we can go into it now. We have all of these right here. So if we open the Metaforce GUI, it'll say it doesn't know the developer. So we're going to open this application here, the Metaforce GUI, which will give us a extract directory. So we'll use it, and we'll pick Metaforce, which is right here, which is where folder where our ISO is already sitting that I've extracted. We can actually pick to download updates directly through here. It gives us a little warning, but we'll start off with an extraction. So we'll pick the ISO, open it, and it'll go, hey, we've got a bunch of stuff here. And it will start going through everything. And for most systems, this will take quite a while. Probably close to, if you're operating on a fucking toaster, about an hour and a bit, hour 10 minutes. If you're operating on the ISS, or any other advanced supercomputer that we have available, it'll take about 10 to 15. And for most people, it'll probably sit comfortably in the middle, somewhere around 30 minutes, 40 minutes. It will, in a moment here, you'll see, it will get kind of caught at the end of these. It is still working. It just takes a while. Some of the MREA files are extremely big and very difficult to parse. So it takes a lot of CPU cycles for it to decipher exactly what's going on there. I can actually close out of this right now and just watch this do its magic. You can see it's actually the easier ones. It's already gone through and extracted everything it needs to. If we go here in the folder, we can actually see it's constantly adding things, which is nice. It's already going through a bunch of stuff. Obviously, there's not full because it's not done yet. But it is, in fact, going through everything. And should not be... Yeah, you can see, actually, this one already is stuck on the MREA file, which is by far the most taxing thing for these for this program to extract successfully. And it actually finished, so it will update to 100% when it actually finishes things. Extracting a lot of models, character models, from all these. I mean, it's extracting literally everything because it will use literally everything, but you can actually see what it's working on actively right now. So, as I said, the closer it gets to the end, the closer it gets to stuff that takes a while for it to parse and for it to understand. Believe it or not, I actually probably still have about 10 minutes on this, give or take. So, we'll come back. Okay, so we are just a bit more than 10 minutes later, and our extraction is now complete, like I said. So now, if you refresh, all of these will actually be populated with everything. It'll have all our original spec files here in .hecl. And if we click package, it will now start this whole process, which will take quite a while. It will run through every single file that you've already extracted, and it will just keep some of it. And other things, it will cook to use in the game correctly. So it'll be also running something called visigen, which you can actually see over here, which does a bunch of things. The primary thing it does is calculate camera information for frustum culling data. So when you're looking, the game will show you things, as you would hope, but just outside of your viewpoint, it will actually hide things to save CPU cycles because you don't need to render things that you are not seeing. This process will take, again, anywhere from about 50 minutes, an hour on an absolute supercomputer to probably closer to 2 hours for most people, all the way to 3 and a bit hours if you're running this on, again, a toaster. My machine will probably complete this in about an hour and a half, if I had to guess. And we are about to ram some CPU usage, so it's about to get interesting here. Okay, so it is about an hour and 30 minutes later. We've finished packing this up. And so now, the only thing we have left to do is press the launch button. And here we go. So we have our Metaforce window. We have... Okay, jump cut. So I actually did not realize until I was editing this, but for some reason OBS decided to stop recording right at the end of my video. So I'll just demonstrate really quickly that Metaforce does in fact work. This little input box you can actually move around wherever you like it to, but I like to kind of nudge it into the bottom corner here. So it works perfectly fine. If you have a GameCube adapter that works with a Nintendo Switch or the Wii U, it'll work here, is pretty much the barrier to entry. There's mouse and keyboard controls that are fine, about as good as you would hope, because it's unfinished. But yeah, so the game works. You can do things. It's lagging right now because I'm using a CPU encoder, but... Ooh. Yeah, so that's basically everything. You can hear I'm using my... actual GameCube controller. We got a bunch of fun options. We go over like frame counter, frame rate, game time, room timer, player info, world info, area info, layer info, which is actually kind of fun, the random string that the game's currently using, and a bunch of resource stats. Lots of other stuff like items, which you can give myself all of them or take all of them away. Give myself specific loadouts for specific scenarios. You can actually adjust specific layers of the game. So it'll be like, hey, Vendrana drifts, I want to go here. And there's only one layer there. But you can remove the enemies and load this. That's not supposed to load.